Hi, I'm Zach.
And I'm Josh.
And this is a pineapple. So, fellow nerds, before we get started today, I would like to say welcome back. We just had Thanksgiving break, so we were gone for a short while, so thanks for being patient, and man, are we glad to be back. But, before we get started, Josh, we have been neglecting someone who's been part of our team since the beginning.
Yes, we have.
And I think he's pretty ticked off about it. I mean, wouldn't you be?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I would. Man?
I'd be ticked.
I don't get ticked off.
Anyways, without further ado, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Zach.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Mr. Napple.
Alright, as we said, welcome back, fellow nerds, from that Thanksgiving break. We're going to be going over 2 episodes this time so we can get caught up and we're not behind. It's also easier on us. It's also going to be a little shorter, hopefully. So with that being said, we're going to start the summary of 2 episodes. So if you've only seen chapter 12 and you haven't seen 13
or 14, we don't know anything about 14.
Right, just pause this video and watch episode 13 and 14. We're not going to discuss 14 because we haven't seen it yet. But anyways, we're going to get into it. So, after chapter 11, Mando's back on his scrappy ship, which seems like a lifetime ago for me personally, over how long this break has been. But he's back on his scrappy ship, and he goes to Navarro to see, what the heck's his name?
To see Cardoon, and to also reunite with Grief.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Grief Karga.
Yeah.
We have notes.
Yeah.
Grief Karga and Cardoon to say hi. Really get ship repairs is really the main reason.
Yeah.
I don't really think
he was very adamant about that.
The reason wasn't really to say hi to his friends. It was really to get ship repairs, and he knew he could trust. Right. And he knew he could trust them. So he goes there to get repairs, and I'm like, basically whining. Another side mission comes about, and they want to get rid of the last Imperial outpost on planet Navarro. Mm-hmm. So Mando's like,
I'm just here for repairs.
And like, no, but you help us, and you help us.
And then
so he helps him.
Mando's like,
so he helps him out, and he then delivers Baby Yoda to another convenient babysitter, little child daycare with a C-3PO unit. What are those called? What are those? Astromech droids. There we go. I'm not stupid. I'm smart. An astromech droid teaching like a school class, and then he eats little macaroons, and that's cool. So then after that, they go to the Imperial base to shut off the coolers, or the whatever that's called, to make the lava flow. I'm also confused a little bit, but we'll discuss. Not really discuss it, but the lava on that planet, it wasn't like Solist or Hoth, but I guess Navarro has lava on it because we saw that last time. So there's another lava planet, I guess. Anyways, they shut off the cooling and then the lava starts to go off. But then as they're making their escape, they meet scientists and they go into this area where there's what seems to be clones in little vats, like water vats, sort of like diaper baby Darth Vader. Wait, no, it's Luke Skywalker. It's Luke Skywalker in the vat of water. But anyways, they see that and they're like, oh, what the heck? And then the scientists try to erase the information, but then the Mithril, the blue Mithril guy,
who still hasn't been named,
he was there. And he's like, oh, look at this. He accidentally opens up a voice message, and basically it's saying they're using the child's blood with the high metachlorine count, and they're putting it into these clones. So what the heck does that mean? I don't know. We're going to discuss that after this.
Absolutely.
So as they keep going through, they try to escape, and they can't escape because there's so many Imperials, stormtroopers. So Mando jetpacks off, which seems like he's sort of being a coward, but he wasn't. So then they try to escape on a transport, Cardoon, Grief, and the Mithril. Mando comes back in a very, very fastly repaired and never has been better Razor Crest. Takes care of the Imperials, and they're pretty much on their merry way. Not watching this episode a second time, I don't remember if he stayed or left before Cardoon talked to the New Republic or the New Republic arrived. I don't exactly remember that.
I'm pretty sure, you can correct this if we're wrong, but pretty sure he left.
Yeah,
pretty sure he left. He was like, goodbye, thank you for repairs. Took off. And then they were on the ground. Yes. So the X-Wing fighter was taking notes on his little notepad, and he asked Kara, "Hey, if you ever want, you can come back. There's a place for you." And she looked off into the distance, like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do," kind of thing. That kind of thing.
And then the episode leads off with, I believe, was the Mithril, but it's just one of Grease mechanics transmitted a message to Moff Gideon's officers and basically said and confirmed they had a tracker on the Razor Crest. So that's where that leaves us.
Which
on to...
Alright, that brings us to Chapter 13. Chapter 13 picks up at a very eerie, dead-looking forest. Everything's dead, everything's dark, everything's really musty. Musty is the perfect word for this setting. And they got the music, and we know what's going to go down. But, lo and behold, it's Ahsoka. Ahsoka opens up her sabers, and she's hacking through people, making her way through the forest into this, like a samurai-looking city, which they got inspiration for it because of that. Anyway, she is making her way to the city to find the leader, and the leader's name is Morgan, and basically she wants Morgan to give up the great Admiral Thrawn, who we all know is an archenemy of like Ahsoka, and
who we find out about like at the end of the episode.
Yeah, but
not at that point.
She hints at, she's like, "Give me your master," and we find out later that's who the master
Grand
is.
Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah. And so that's where the episode begins. Then the scene cuts. We have the cool intro, and we go right into Mando, or Din Djarin, and Din Djarin. Thank you. Sorry. Anyways, he's currently traveling to this planet that he's been trying for the entire show to get to. And he lands, and right away they let him into the city, and Morgan puts a bounty on Ahsoka. She's like, "Hey." Okay, so Morgan offers him the Beskar spear. There's a Beskar spear, and she's like, "Use this, kill her, it's yours." And he's like, "I don't need this, but I will hunt her down." So they're under the impression that he's accepted the bounty, where in reality, he didn't technically say yes. So he goes off into the woods to find her. Obviously the child with him. And then he's in the woods, and she shows up. It's a quick little fight, a match of skills, if you will. And obviously they're evenly matched. We confirm that the continuity is once again amazing, because the Beskar resists the lightsaber, so that was cool. And then he stops the fight by basically saying her name and telling her, I'm here to talk to you.
Why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? Yeah. So she immediately, I'm guessing, senses the child, because before she even looks at him, she stops, believes him, she looks over. I hope the conversation's about him.
Just a rude introduction. It's like, "Oh, let's talk about him instead."
Yeah. That's clearly why you're here. Okay, I trust you. So, she communicates with him through the Force, and then we get a big reveal of his name, which we'll go into later. And he says, "You need to train her." She says no. And then she further says, "Okay, fine. I'll agree to train him if you help me free this city and get what I need on this city." So, yet another side quest, but one that actually makes more sense.
Grogu!
He agrees, of course.
He's ignored Grogu.
We'll get into that.
Grogu.
The
child is Grogu.
They get back into the city.
The child is Grogu.
It's a great name, Josh. Get over it. They get back into the city. They fight. She fights Morgan. He fights the city. All turns out well. At the end of the episode, he has a very heartfelt holding moment with Grogu. And he's like, "Here you go." And she goes, "No, I'm not going to train him." And he's like, "You kidding me here? We had a deal. We had a deal.
You had a deal, Vinny.
You broke it. Why'd you break the deal?" And she's like, "Oh, no, don't worry. I got something better than me training him. You're going to take him Tython, right? That's how you pronounce it?
Tython.
You're gonna take him to Tython.
Or, I could have been pronouncing it this entire time wrongly, but I believe it's Tython. You can shoot me.
You're gonna take him to this planet, and he's gonna stretch out his wee little arms in the Force, and he's gonna decide his fate. If he wants to be a Jedi, he'll reach out, and hopefully somebody will respond, because that's better than me training him.
Apparently he's from Boston now. Ahsoka's from Boston.
That was a terrible Boston accent. But that basically is where the episode leaves off. So, as always, Mando gets in his ship, and he flies his merry way off, and that catches us up. So,
And we have that one big question. Is
it
this
the
the
way?
way? Right, guys, we're going to go right into future thoughts because the summary pretty much picks up everything on that episode just so we can get this rolling. So with future thoughts, we're going to start off with discussing the clones and the midichlorians and all that, where we think that's going to go, if it goes anywhere. I very much doubt it isn't going to go anywhere. So, we'll just start off with that. So, I don't know where the Lucasfilm Star Wars universe is with the sequels, and is that now Legends? Are the sequels still canon? I don't know, because there was that whole thing of George Lucas is now in charge, and he was going to do his own thing, and that wasn't actually canon anymore. I don't exactly know where that goes, because all the videos I've seen, most of them have said that they are still technically canon. I don't know on that. So, with that being said, sorry for that long tangent. It's possible that those clones are going to be the beginning of the whole Snoke Palpatine clones. That's here and there. We're not going to discuss how much we don't like the sequels, because that's a topic for not another time. Or it could be, say, a Darth Vader clone that they're trying to do. And it could just be someone that we don't know about. It could be literally no one that are just trying to create Force-sensitive
clones,
beings. So, do you have any thoughts on that?
I thought it was very cool that they brought back the midichlorians. I know a lot of people don't like midichlorians, and I mean, I think, at least in my opinion, one reason that people don't like them is they think of midichlorians and they think of bugs, and nobody wants to think that everything's made up of bugs. Neither do I. So, other than that, I thought it was cool that they brought back that continuity. I thought it was very cool that they were acknowledging that we need this Force-sensitive being who's extremely sensitive and extremely strong in the Force to be a donor for these clones. So I think that it could go in a very cool direction. I, without a doubt, hope they do not go in the direction of Snoke and Palpatine in the sequel trilogy, which doesn't exist. Just because it's just a bunch of stories that I think disappointed a lot of us, and I don't think it's a route they need to go down. So I hope it's nothing to do with that, basically, short version.
Yeah.
But if they go their own version and make it something original, absolutely, which I can see them doing pretty well.
Right.
Because it's only 7 years around after the fall of the...
Cat!
That's our cat.
That's our transition point. That's her telling us to transition.
Yeah.
Over to Cara Dune in the New Republic. So, in this episode, we already discussed it in the summary. There's not a lot to talk about this. Is this going to go anywhere, or is this about Cara Dune not wanting to have that life, or is she going to go back to that life?
Mm-hmm.
The New Republic has even talked to her again about rejoining.
Yeah.
She left for a reason. Will she go back? Will she... go back to that. She has helped people before. She has helped many villages across her journeys and stuff. Mostly because of Mando and Jaren, actually. But, will she, join back up with the New Republic? That's a big question, as weird as it sounds. I mean,
it's very big
being
question.
a side character, but is she going to go back to the New Republic? And, with the New Republic, is the New Republic going to be a completely different thing? Is this going to lead up to a different thing? Is this going to lead up to a new... sequel trilogy? So,
Well, I don't know, because I think we can kind of agree, though. She is a cool character, but at the same time, starting off, she more or less was just out for herself kind of thing. Like, I'm here, I'm surviving, no offense, but it is about me, and it needs to be right now. but then she grew as a character, as many characters do, and she's the local marshal on Navarro. And so now she has more responsibility, and so she understands that, she accepts it. So it's very interesting if she's going to keep it where she's at, or if she will get roped back into the Republic and all that. So I don't know. That'd be interesting to see, though.
Yeah.
I don't think I would mind it either way. I don't know how much it really pertains to the story, except maybe her having inside leads to help Mando in future confrontations. But we'll see.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next episode and talk about our future thoughts involving that.
Absolutely, Josh. So, starting off, the two main topics I think for this episode is obviously Ahsoka and Grogu, which let's just start with that. Let's start with that. Yeah, I love the name.
Okay.
I think it's a great name. As soon as I heard it, especially the way Ahsoka said it, because they kind of said it a few different ways throughout the episode, but as soon as Ahsoka said it, it felt so natural. It felt as best as they could, like a Star Wars name.
It sounded natural to you.
Yeah, it sounded natural. It sounded like a Star Wars name. As soon as she said it, it felt to me immediately like that makes sense that that's its name. I accepted it right off the bat.
I will accept it eventually, and I'll warm up to the name. I don't think I'm ever going to like the name. It did not feel natural to me. The moment felt very forced when they said his name. That's here and there. That's okay.
Okay.
That given, obviously he needed a name, so obviously it was going to come across. I'm not upset that he has a name. In fact, I'm super excited and very happy about it.
Yeah, you can call him something.
Right, if he never got a name, I would have been upset. You can't just not name a being, right? So I'm very much glad he did. I'm not exactly happy with the name, but I will warm up to it. Before we get to that last part of the episode, we're going to talk about Ahsoka. And we are both pretty freaking excited over Ahsoka's appearance and how well they did her cinematically. I think Rosario Dawson, though she can't pronounce Ahsoka's name properly in interviews, did a phenomenal job with the character. The look looked great for the most part. And the acting, just the acting and the humbleness and just the overall character of Ahsoka, you could tell it was Ahsoka. Aside from the look, you could tell it was Ahsoka.
Yeah, an older version. They did a very good job of it being an older version.
Yes.
Of Ahsoka, which I agree with you. I think they did a very good transition. If you guys remember or watched one of our previous videos, we were very, very worried about Ahsoka showing up. We were very worried about any characters coming back to the spotlight kind of thing. And you understand our views on that, so I won't get into it. But it was very nerve-wracking. But as soon as she came in, it felt good. It felt fluid. And it didn't seem like it was a stretch or a rush or anything like that. And as far as we know, she's only in the one episode, so they're not, like, at least right now, making it about her. So I thought they did a very good job with it. She very well... wow, that was a mess up on words. She portrayed her memories on Anakin in the Clone Wars and where she was through her body language and her little bit of dialogue, too. So I'm very happy with what they did with her. I can't say I'm disappointed. The only reason I don't like seeing her is because she should be dead. If you can get past the fact that she should be dead technically, it was a very wonderfully told story.
Yes, exactly.
So that's how I feel about it.
The one nitpick on Ahsoka is, again, this did not ruin the episode, nor am I whining about it. I'm just pointing it out, because that's our job. I'm literally not upset about it, and it's sort of has a technical reason. It has a technical name. I don't know it. I'm sorry. I'm not that big of a geek, though I could be. Her hair things, they were supposed to be longer, and on the top and the bottom. As she was in that old age, it's just sort of how her race works.
Yeah.
They were shorter. They looked more like her teenage length, which overall honestly doesn't affect the episode that much. It's not that big of a deal, and in all technicality, it was so they could move around better. They could have CGI'd it when she was doing flips and stuff, but alas, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
So yeah, they nailed Ahsoka really for the most part.
They absolutely nailed Ahsoka, and I really liked how she denied training Grogu The reason I like that is because continuity-wise, it really stuck with our character as I don't hate the Jedi, but there is a reason I left.
It was also, yeah, but on top of that, it angered me, but I both loved it at the same time. That she did not mention that she wasn't a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Not once she mentioned that she wasn't a Jedi. And whether that be a mistake with the episode making and they forgot, which I don't think they would have. I think it was on purpose, like you were just saying.
Mm-hmm.
She has those past things that she doesn't hate them. But
yeah, I don't know if she like identifies as a gray Jedi, because it really didn't touch upon what she is at this point. Like it really didn't say, like they call her a Jedi because Bo-Katan called her a Jedi, and that's what the episode's called, as the Jedi. But to the commoner's forewarned knowledge, she is a Jedi.
right,
Which is
exactly
all they really touched upon, and she didn't really go into who she is now.
I think that's also part of the point. Is Star Wars is for everyone, whether we like it or not. Gatekeepers are terrible, and I can be a gatekeeper sometimes. You can watch one Star Wars movie and be a Star Wars fan. That you're not a Star Wars geek, and that's completely fine. You're a Star Wars fan. You enjoyed a movie. Maybe you didn't enjoy the others, but you enjoyed a movie. So I think that was also part of the reason of, not putting as much detail in that side, so more casual people can enjoy it, and that's perfectly fine. You can enjoy whatever you want when it's Star Wars, unless it sucks. Anyways, let's talk about that last bit of the episode here and wrap things up. Ahsoka sends Din Djarin and Grogu, the kid, I'm going to call him kid, like Din Djarin completely does. They send him to Tython to channel the Force, and it might be possible that literally 3 remaining Jedi might show up.
So, who do we think those Jedi are? That's the main question. Who do you think is the most likely?
Do I think a Jedi, or do we even think a Jedi is going to show up?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Judging on how this is Star Wars and Disney, and its marketing, and it is all about money, it's true.
Yeah.
I think a character will show up because of those reasons.
Okay.
Strictly because of those reasons.
Okay.
I think in a storytelling aspect, they don't need to, but I think because of marketing and money and all of that. Again, I don't want to make them sound like a big evil corporation Disney is, but because of those reasons, I think they are going to have a Jedi. So with that aside, unless you have anything to add on it, why they wouldn't have a Jedi show up.
So, on a storytelling aspect, I can see them adding a
Both.
Jedi.
Right, both.
Other than marketing reasons.
Both sides.
There's probably
Well, I wasn't
behind
saying
it,
adding a Jedi
but-
strictly for marketing reasons.
Okay.
Not strictly.
Okay.
I wasn't saying strictly for that.
Okay, so
I
long
was
as we're
saying it
clear
was
on
a
that.
point. Yeah.
Okay, clearly it's 8 point, but as long as
Right.
that's
It
not
was
the
a
only-
point of having not the Jedi. Like it was
Okay,
It was one of the points for not having a Jedi show up.
perfect.
Yeah. I didn't.
I personally think it'd be cool, and it makes sense if a Jedi does reach out back. I personally hope that in the last episode, I hope they don't officially make it to the altar or whatever he has to sit on. I'm going to call it an altar because that makes the most sense. For him to sit down, reach out, and then have that almost classic iconic scene now where he reaches out, you hear the Force, you hear the music, and then he opens his eyes. And you don't officially get an answer until next season. But I think that he will reach out to a Jedi. There's actually somebody I was talking to recently who really does think it's going to be Ezra, considering he'd be much older now.
I think considering the characters they've used, it makes the most sense.
It does make the most sense, and I actually think it could work. Like, I know we don't want this to be another Rebels sequel, but let's think about it. Where would Ezra be at this point? Like, as a Jedi.
He was with Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Right, but as a Jedi, is it possible that he's hooked up with, in some way, Luke Skywalker and the New Jedi Order? Has Luke even started the New Jedi Order yet? Because according to what Ahsoka said, it doesn't seem like he's really got it up and running yet. Which makes sense, it's only been 7 years, but at the same time, don't you think that's one of the first things he would start? Because part of Return of the Jedi was the Return of the Jedi. He was that foothold, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it make sense for right after he goes right into training new Jedi?
I also saw this, and I know one of my friends is very not with it, and I haven't at all talked with this to you at all.
Okay.
So this is the first time we're going to actually be legitimately talking about this. Is again, I'm not saying I want this. I would prefer Ezra over anyone, but this is also just another thing. Mace Windu, there's not much to talk about there. He
Right.
might not be dead. I hope he's still dead.
I did
Now,
hear a theory
this is the
about
second
that.
part. Luke Skywalker.
Mhm.
Mark Hamill is currently old. That's completely fine. People age. That's life. However, there's another actor that sort of looks like him. It's Sebastian Stan. Now,
Really?
most people are very split about this. I'm split on it, period, because I just don't know how he would do as a Luke Skywalker. But it's
I
completely
see this.
plausible to see a Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker. He would be the only, I think, in my opinion, the only fit to play a young Luke Skywalker. If they go that route, I don't know if they are. I don't know if they'd have to talk to Mark Hamill, so he wouldn't be upset.
Right.
I don't know how that worked, but if it would be Luke Skywalker, that's where I'd want Sebastian Stan to do it, because that's just the only way they'd be able to do it. I don't want them to CGI and Mark Hamill to look younger. I think they should use an actor that looks like him.
That is a tough conversation.
Right? It's
wow.
again, it's super tough because we don't know if they're going to do that.
Right.
We don't know.
We have no idea.
But if they do, should they? It's such a weird conversation
thing.
because Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker.
It's true.
He is
It's true.
iconic. He is Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, it's true.
But in the same aspect, think about Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That voice actor was Ahsoka.
Yeah.
They didn't use her voice actor for the live action version,
But it
which
came
is
out great.
understandable.
Right.
But it came out great. So
So could it
would
be
fans be enraged? 100%.
Half of
There
them,
is there is no way that you would do that without being fans enraged.
Right.
Again, if they do it, there's no way you wouldn't be able. There's no way. But then there would be fans that would like it, and again, most fans wouldn't even be able to tell if they like it because we don't know how it's gonna look if they do it.
Right, that's true. Well, I think I saw something like this actually years ago. Do you remember? It was more of a meme form kind of thing, but they did do they did a face swap in a picture, and in another picture it was a side by side on young Mark Hamill and Sebastian.
Yep, I saw it.
And visually, he would sell the role.
Right?
Visually, I could see him selling the role.
I think he could do it acting wise, but that's given the couple of movies I've seen him in.
Let me put it this way. The one and only reason I am worried about that is because of what we've gotten in the past with these kind of characters trying
Solo!
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Basically that. That would be my main fear, but at the same time, they've also successfully done it with other characters, like Ahsoka. I'm even going to throw Boba Fett in there, because, I mean, it was easier with him.
It was technically a different actor, I think.
It was a different
Yeah.
actor.
It was, yeah,
But-
but the originals are, yeah.
Yeah, it
completely
was a
different
different actor. But it was easier with him, but it still worked. It worked with him. Even though we had minor things with Bo-Katan, it mainly worked for her too. It could have been a lot worse, so they can sell it.
Yeah.
I can see them doing it. But I'd be very skeptical. Very, very, very,
Oh, yeah.
very skeptical. Can it be done? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But
It's going to worry Star Wars fans.
I don't know. Maybe they can do it.
I also think if they were doing it, it would probably be rumored by now, so I don't think it's going to happen. But hey, you never know. I don't think Star Wars has done a great job of keeping secrets, as in when it comes to roles.
Not with the Mandalorian.
Not with
They
Mandalorian.
straight up tell us this is who's gonna be where.
So I don't think it's
So,
going to happen.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, is this the way?
This is the way, Josh.
And this is a pineapple!